Hey guys, it's Killian again, and today I wanted to do some Q&A on being transgender. For those of you who don't know, I am transgender. I'm female to male, which means that I was born female bodied. However, I identify as male, and I would like it that people call me, he and stuff like that. My name wasn't Killian when I was born. It was something that I actually had to go through and pay for, etc., etc., etc. So that being said, along the way I'll answer questions about that. Some of it comes up, but I have questions here that a couple are asked from my friends, and then some I had to find from the internet on most commonly asked questions about people who are transgender. So that's it. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, my friend Moose asks, when did you realize you were transgender? So this is something that's different for other people, but for me, and I told some of my friends this, and I'm telling you guys for the first time, but when I first realized I was transgender, I was probably about 15 or 16. And I was living in a house with my stepfather, my mom, my brother, and my ex-stepfather. So we had this really cramped living situation. My mom and my stepfather, which is her current husband right now, they are and have always been very supportive of me. And this situation was in such a way that I really didn't feel like I could be out even sexually at the time as somebody who considered themselves a lesbian. So I took my stepfather aside and I asked him in private. I said, I'm thinking that I might be boy. Do you think that you guys or you and mom would have any issues with that? And he's like, no, I don't know how your mom would react to it, but I don't see you any different. When I was in school, I had a friend who was gay, so he was very supportive. So I had little resistance in that area when I first realized that. However, it didn't really come into play until later. It was something that I generally went through in that stage of, oh, it's a phase, because when I was 16 there really wasn't anything, any information out there. I'm actually 28. I might not look like it, but I am 28. And back when I was 16 years old, there wasn't a lot of information. There was RuPaul, but he's not transgender. He's a drag queen. There's difference. And
what is the difference between a drag queen and somebody being transgender? I said, what's the difference between a drag queen and somebody being transgender?
The difference between a drag queen and somebody who's transgender
or gay
or gay, yeah, in and of itself, is that being gay is a sexual preference.
Okay. Being
transgender is a gender identity.
Yeah, that I understand.
Okay, and the difference between a drag queen and being transgender is a drag queen is typically a man. Drag king is a woman who dresses up as a man, and drag queen is a man who dresses up as a woman. A drag queen is different from somebody who's transgender because at the beginning of the day, the man says, I am a man. But then when he goes to perform, or if he goes out on the street in drag, he puts on women's... Huh?
Is he gay?
No, not everybody who's a drag anything is a lesbian or gay. Straight people can also do drag. Bisexual, all our new gender, sexual preferences, etc. Anyone can do drag. Okay, you don't have to be any specific thing to do drag. Somebody who does drag typically at the beginning of the day says, I am whatever gender they believe that they are, or not believe, but specifies that they are, and then puts on whatever opposite clothing, and then at the end of the day, when they're done with it, they take it off and they go back to their lives. Okay, so that's the difference between being a drag king, drag queen, or whatever, and being transgender. You can, as a transgender person, you wake up and go, I'm a guy, every part of the day. At least for female to male. Like, I know, which is something I'll discuss later, but there are a lot of other versions of being transgender, because transgender is actually an umbrella term. But as far as being transgender the way that I am transgender, it means literally female to male, which means that in the process I am in, I eventually hope to have a sex change. Not everybody who's trans under the umbrella hopes to have a sex change. It just becomes this big umbrella term that encompasses a lot of people. Do you understand? Okay. So, as I was saying, when I was 18 years old, back to the point of when did I realize? When I was 18 years old, I was also going through another instance of realization. And once again, I was told that it's a phase. But it started when I was 16, of my realization. Went on through 18, and then finally when I was 23, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I have to be honest. It's come up so often, and I've been thinking about it for so long that I can't keep playing this. I have to be serious. So I settled into it, and shortly that year, I actually came to my mom, and I was like, you know, I'm transgender. I want to get a sex change. And I wasn't met with resistance. You weren't resistant. You were questioning, and you were concerned, because a lot of parents do have the concern that that their kids might be doing something that can affect them badly, or they might be making, you know, the wrong choice. Maybe I haven't thought about it enough, but because it's been something that I've been thinking about since I was 16, it's obviously been something that, you know, that hasn't gone away. You know, I've had a long time to think about what I want to do with myself. And even though I went through that phase of, oh yeah, it's probably a phase, that was the phase of going, yeah, this is nothing. So that was how I realized I was trans. My mom is very supportive of me. That's why I have her here with me right now. Otherwise, I probably would be recording this by myself. I actually started recording it by myself, but then I realized that a lot of people don't understand that not everybody's family, when you are transgender, is against what they do. A lot of people, when they comment on other people's trans videos, are like, how could your parents let you do stuff like that? And I'm here to say that none of this stuff had anything to do with my mom. My mom was not really privy about me being trans until I actually said that I was trans when I was 23. So it's none of her fault for doing anything. Actually, as I grew up, and a lot of people don't understand this as well, when I grew up, I dressed very girly, didn't I? I dressed as girly as, you know, as me being overweight and being afraid of my body would allow me to do. You know, I fought for a really long time to be something that I didn't feel comfortable being, because I felt like, I talked to her in the car about this the other day. I told her that I felt like no matter how hard I tried, there was something that I was missing. Like I couldn't fit in, I couldn't figure it out, and it didn't finally settle with me where I was meant to be until I actually said, I think I'm actually a guy, and that's why all of this has been happening. And now, the only issue that I really have with myself, aside from wanting to what is the word I'm looking for? Wanting to complete goals that I set for myself as far as like career and stuff like that. The only issue that I have, other than, you know, obviously this dysphoria that I'm going through, is I don't like the weight that I'm at. But now I'm actually more confident in the person that I am, rather than going, oh yeah, I'm just a girl doing this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not me. That's not who I am. And I find it hard to believe that other people can honestly tell other people they don't know what they're doing. You know, it's not something that anybody else from the outside can have a real comment on. It's not their place to put dialogue on it. You know what I mean? How was your experience coming to terms with it when you were younger? he was accepting, but he didn't know if my mom would accept it as well. My mom at this point is more accepting, but he tries his best to accommodate to me, so that's all I can ask for. But yeah, when I was younger, I didn't even really try, because I was just always told that it was just a phase, so I went on with it like that. Was your family and friends supportive? Like I said, yeah, my family for the most part was supportive. The man that I consider my father, who isn't actually my birth father, but the man that I consider my father, he was under the belief that I was just a lesbian up until probably a couple years ago, when my mom finally was like, by the way, Jeff, what did you call me? Did you call me Kaya?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nick. I'm going by Nick now. Last time that we were there, though, he tried to. It was just that
he doesn't put a big deal. He just cares about you, so he doesn't feel like it's any big deal whether he cares or he or she.
Yeah.
And he doesn't feel like
when my mom was there, she would try to correct him.
not correcting. That's just remind. Correcting is more of a I like to see it become as work to remind people. Correcting people is a more aggressive and assertive thing, but I think people are more accepting if they're not so aggressive about it, and more reminding people in their lives so that you have to live it in. So you just tell them.
Yeah. Him and my brother, they're not here all the time. It's harder for them to remember. It's something that my brother really doesn't deal with. So it's not like something that is always out there. Whenever he's here, my mom likes to do as I do. But sometimes my mom will be like, your brother or my son, and she'll be like, it's my own brother. They'll be like, whoop, and you'll wonder what the heck that she's talking about when I'll be like, me. He's like, oh, yeah. But he's not doing it to me, like
Here all
that.
the time.
Yeah, I love my brother. I love him to death, like above and beyond. So it's nothing like that. But yeah, friends automatically supportive. Like I have a lot of great friends. There are some people that I used to hang out with though when I was like 23 or something, when I first came out, that I had some of the guys there that actually had feelings, or at least sexual feelings for me. And I heard that disgusting thing where people were like, oh, you're such a bombshell the way that you are. The dog. My mom is making a really disgusted face. Yeah, there were some older guys who were like, you're such a bombshell the way that you are. You'd only need a little bit of work to be a total sexy babe. I don't understand why you would ever want to get rid of that. Like, it's not about what you think about me, and I think that's actually really disgusting that you would look at me like that. First of all, I don't find you freaking attractive to begin with. However, no thanks, but no thanks. I am gonna be who I want to be. I had somebody tell me once, oh, I think that women are God's gift to man. Why would you ever want to get rid of that? Like, yeah. My mom is making such a disgusted face. Are you okay?
They're not
They're
toys.
nobody's gift. It's like, why would
they're
you?
not toys. They're not possessions.
Yeah.
People own themselves. They don't belong, and they're not. And we aren't there for for their great satisfaction. You know, that's not our only purpose, is to give you joy.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading